Well, that's just an utter annoyance. I've been streaming for a few days and everything's wonky. Ugh, God. And you have to log out, re-log into YouTube. Anyway, I digress. I just need to make sure the mic is working. Weird and echoey when I tried to record stuff. Okay, back on track. I was about to start muted like I always do. Before you end the games, right? Would you pay $200 for the Rainbow Foil Enigma New Moon, right? Because I understand I'm on the very pessimistic side of it being, $5 to $10. Its pull rate is identical to Emperor, right? For every at least 50 marbles, there are... Sorry, other way around. For every one marble, there are 50 rainbow foils. If that's at a 100k print run, right? At 200k, it's 1 to 100, and so on and so forth. So yeah, don't spend $200 on this yet. If you have one though, sell it for $100. Go buy all the Majestics you need for whatever deck you're building, right? That's my mentality at the moment. But yeah, that's kind of crazy to me, given just. It's a static pull rate, right? 99% of the time, 99.99% of the time when you get a gold pack, this is what's in it, right? So it's one per every, 5 cases? Yeah, it's not a $200 card. Anyway, we're gonna play some Melody, though it looks like everyone's already moving to CC, CC as well, but given to Miss Vale, yeah. There's a bunch of open games. I'm curious why. I'm sure people have asked. But I wonder if you could convince Teleshare to follow the pre-release schedule, because you can see this is what the majority of people want to play, right? You've got normal you've got normal games into all the new Misspell heroes too. But anyway, we'll just look for a game with Melody while we wait. What am I doing? Public, Blitz. Do I do it open? That's other. We'll see if anyone bites. Yeah, I'm curious about the initial prices, Electrum. To me, a lot of them are just looking crazy. And it's just because of short supply. I think it's becoming somewhat of a detriment to the game, right? Because the policy for opening and doing this, right, is from pre-release, despite the wider public not being able to get boxes or be sold boxes until the 31st, correct? Right, so a week after stores can rip through and set up the singles market. And yeah, they make a decent profit off of people who don't know the trend yet. It's kind of sad in its own right. I don't know if we're going to get a buy. You know what, I'll do open in case anyone wants to play any of the three. So against Enigma, Melody has absolutely no chance. God, what am I doing? Open, public, not single player, Melody, great game. Yeah, I mean, here in Oz, right, Bluken Box is literally, he's advertising a 200 box stream on the 28th, right, so 3 days before anyone in the public can have access to it. He's going to open and list 200 boxes worth of cards, right, which here in Oz, he is basically the biggest seller for singles, right? He is our TCG player because we have nothing. We don't have card market. We don't have anything like that. So he can control, basically, right? And so yeah, I do think the majority of these are inflated, with maybe the exception of the Marvel heroes, because they are the big chase piece that everyone always gravitates towards. Is it still echoing? I can sort of hear it through my headphones. I didn't have to. Did I accidentally stick myself on listen somewhere? I'm feeling like we won't actually get a game that easily. The other thing too is Blitz is on its last legs. I'd honestly expect, given the fact that LSS has just ousted their own stance. God, it's a $20 difference, so I don't care so much. But I got into this bad rut, right? The store I buy from sold out, but they still were offering single boxes. So I said, fine, I'll just buy 4 single boxes. It's $20 difference between the case price and the 4 boxes. Then I check back next week. Oh, we got more stock in. And cycle repeats. And I end up buying half of what I ended up buying at single box prices versus case. Which again, here in Oz, it's $20. So US, that's what? Like $8. Did I go the wrong way? 8 by 1.5? I did. $10 by 1.5? $12. Somewhere around there. And they're also... all boxes here in Oz are well under the recommended sale price. Makes me really sad for new stores trying to get into the game, because they can't get anywhere near what I'm guessing their advertised prices from distribution. But yeah, if we look through, right, the Rainbow Foil, Mistcloak Gully. Now this one's a hard one, because this is definitely playable in all 3 Mystic Heroes, and I would assume it is competitive playable. It is just such a strong effect to float just a -1 to the start of every turn is great. Stonewall Gauntlet is very niche, so $100 for the cold foil, I'd be more thinking $40. But even if you look at like the numbers and estimates, that can sort of tell you how much they're opening. It's just stores get, huge portion of it. And I think for some LGSs, that's also why they get sold out. Yeah, it's still having its competitive seasons, but LSS have just blatantly stated we don't care that much about it, right? It's hard to, because I don't want to phrase it too negatively, but basically it is the casual anything goes format, end of story, right? And in terms of any competitive sport, while it might have its seasons, it's not supported to the same extent as Class Constructed, right? I would assume Living Legend also overtakes it. And that's my bad. To be honest, this set I might not pick up much, which honestly is a good thing. I wouldn't feel great about having to buy every set, just a few cards like this Gold May Estate for me. Yeah, and that's definitely the feel for every set, right? Especially if you go back to Bright Lights, is some people want the set, some people don't, some people want the expansion slot, which is good, it's doing its job. But altogether, it's this weird 3-week cycle. I really dislike it the more I think about it, right? You have the world premiere, right? 5-day gap, pre-release, 5-day gap, and then straight release, right? And all stores from pre-release, oh, cool, we got a meme off, are able to crack packs and sell singles, right? They're only not allowed to sell boxes to the public till the 31st, in the case of Partner Misfound. KO, so they have scaling there. That's interesting. They're proper Berserker Rot KO. This isn't actually as nice as what I'd like. We'll grab our 3 silver, pass, and probably just stash the Art of War. I assume we're just going to get rolled over as Melody. Playing any of the Mystic Heroes, even in a meme deck similar to this, just goes to show how disadvantaged Melody is, in all honesty. Intimidate, +4. To be honest, they don't even need the high roll. They're just going to be able to shred through us. So Scaling Flashbag is just awful against Melody. Well, good from this. Oh, great. I can't even get the benefit of Ferndale. But this means I need to have Final Act in the arsenal, so that when they block the first Final Act, the other one doesn't get intimidated away. Which is why Deep Blue's looking a bit better, since you can pump it higher than just one Final Act before they get the chance to block. Yeah, Savage. Well, this is the whole point, right? They print Savage Stash. The majority, my opinion of what their stance has become is, rather than trying to balance everything, it's just bring up the power level. So every class has, you know, at least a 3-turn OTK, roughly. Because that's about the life state of a proper competitive Blitz deck, unless you're running something really fatiguey, something that can just shut down your opponent, is about 3 turns. God. It's not even a good turn for me to go into the draw, because I have no real combo pieces. They low rolled, so we'll take the 3. Man and Conquer's bad, though. On a 5. So I can't even fully block it. Which means the Art of War's done. Yeah, this is basically a loss. Right? And get to 8. We still lose the Art of War. If they low rolled, we'd be a lot happier. Savage Sash is gone, so that's something. If we can just float a turn to then try and draw, we've thinned out the deck quite a lot. There's a chance we can go for it. Hopping is fine. Nope. No, it's not. We can get to 5 block. But again, I'm just eating into my own hand. I think this partly the big issue with Blitz, right? The go first or go second is such a big thing, because once you're the aggressor, you're just way ahead. And it's a real tough challenge to actually balance. Like, it would need heavy restrictions compared to Classic Constructed. So I can understand them and their mentality of just letting it go and being this fun format. But then also, you know, they spent 3-4 years building up the introductory level of products for Blitz, right? To be the introduction to the game. And it's not going to work. Well, that was a quick match. I do want to try and get at least some win with Melody before we say goodbye, and I probably transition to only playing Classic Constructed. What other card prices do we have? Alright, we'll start from the start. 5k for New Moon. I think it'll probably go higher, even though 3 have already been pulled. I think 1 is sold for 2.5. I do think, obviously, it has the waifu tax we'll use, right? But just because it's knowledge, right? You know it's out of 100. So having one of these is more prestigious than, say, the Marvel Emperor, even though the Marvel Emperor is kind of just as scarce, right? It's probably 2 times as common as New Moon, right? I think 250 to 100 is what we're currently looking at from my perspective. So I would say it push a bit higher, but then absolutely collapse once everyone who wants one has one and no one else really cares, right? That's the big thing that really breaks Fab, is it's not circulated, right? The wealth of cards is not circulated. Once someone has it, if they're trying to, you know, make an extra buck off it, they're in a real rough spot, right? It has only one tier of screw you over, basically, is what we'll go with. It's weird because what other competitive formats do you have for high level play? You have Class Constructed and Skewered. Blitz is being phased out. Sealed Draft, I think Sealed is too much variance. Since you could just open a bad pool and you just get knocked out. Yeah. I mean, you look at Worlds. It's just been Taminja. Hey. There's a familiar face. And this is Deja Vu, because I'm pretty sure he's told me that before. When he's played... I don't know, did he play Cheyenne the last time? I can't remember. I'm pretty sure I said exactly this. Awesome to hear. You too, man. Alright. Cheyenne is definitely going a lot stronger. No support whatsoever, well, aside from the expansion sauce in the new set. It would have been fun if there was just some way for it to utilize Chi, right? The Sacred Arts being specs or anything like that would have been fun. We have 2 final acts, which is interesting, and a tome. There's a dream here. Not a good dream, but we'll give them the token. But yeah, it's their main focus is on Class Constructed, and I guess to that extent, I'd like to see either just a quicker variant of Class Constructed, if somehow, right? More influence on Commoner, maybe, or a divide where they go, you know, you've got Living Legend as the height of Class Constructed, and then you have, you know, the Peasant format or shitty format where it's all the bottom barrel heroes and that's all you can play. You know, something fun like that. They could definitely split Class Constructed up enough, but it is a shame just to mainly see the work they've put into. This creating 6 is kind of horrible. Seeing the work they've put into Blitz just go to waste. Kind of have to get rid of one final act, and that feels horrible. I feel like I actually just have to go for it. Yeah. Even though our board stage is not fantastic. Another cash in. At least that's 2 blues. So that's kind of nice. Do an unmovable and a sun kiss, so that's horrible. Can't even tome. I can copper though. Do another unmovable. I should have overpitched with the sun's kiss, I think. I don't need 1 for quick step, so I can Jingle Wood, off the unmovable. That's another pitch. Yeah, that's better. Makes me really miss taking the Mage Master of the Tome. Drafts is at least better than Sealed. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of support for Living Legend recently. A lot of people don't want to revisit older heroes because of the trauma. At least that's the vibe I get from locals. Yeah. I mean, again, look at major events. What was the prize support for Living Legend? It was a fraction, right? For its launch, it was a fraction of Class Constructed. They just intended player hype to be enough, I guess. How's I gonna do this? Can't get over the other one. It's definitely not enough damage, but it might force their hand. This is not reaction. I just realized. Yeah. We'll let it go. But it does seem like it will just be class constructed. One thing, it is becoming very apparent that LSS is too small for what it's trying to do, right? And they need company growth prioritized a little bit over actual competitive growth, at least from my perspective, right? Because we have the issue of their narrow focus on where to improve, right? Launch the game in Japan, launch the game prior to that in Europe, right? North America, yada yada. It's cyclic, and then no real sustain. We can't deny this, but at least we can recover a little bit. If we can just get the lead the charge for the turn, I'd be very happy. But I don't think we survive another turn. There's the cash out for the silver. They didn't draw well. We're in a nice position. They're putting all their eggs into just class constructed. So hopefully they ramp up armory decks. Strike, we don't know if strike decks are going to be class constructed or blitz, right? So that's still another avenue. They're meant to be an introductory product, so I guess they're just going to be another take on class constructed, or it could be a new format altogether, right? And yeah, the hero thing is definitely a shame, because there are so many heroes, China included, Melody included, where if they just announced a simple ruling, you can play it in class constructed, just double the HP. I'd have so much more fun. But I get my combo fix thanks to Mistveil. It's gonna be something big. They didn't have the gold though, right? So it's not overpower. Additional cost, yeah, destroy gold. So it's just a 10. I mean, no, they did have gold. Oh, they had the shield. I just forgot about the shield. So one card block with. We're done. We could have had something too. We could have gone 3 silver. It wouldn't be enough though, right? It would be 12. No, it'd be 6. I don't think I run Encore. But good game nonetheless, right? Again, there are, so many fun, playful heroes. Especially if, again, they're just going to launch a lot of them through these side events, like Blaze. Because that's the idea, is it's just anything that doesn't quite get balanced perfectly for launch of a set just sticks as they're young. Like, it's a great insight into their development process. They think up a hero, they start in Blitz, they work out, how much balancing it needs and whether or not it's viable for an adult. Otherwise, it just stays in Blitz. So I'd assume they have a huge just board of, not single player, of Blitz, of young heroes ready to go that they can launch. And again, in that sense, right, if they've got them all figured out and it's, say just a habit of purchasing, or I should say commissioning the art, right, then why not, turn them all into promos with this more lackadaisic view of Blitz. Yeah, Blaze is going to be, for the season, it's going to be more widely available, right? So if you overpaid or tried to organize someone to get it from, was it Gen Con? Don't fear, it's coming. And I assume that they're, I don't want to say assume actually, because I'm thinking about it, and their kits, it's been very lackluster, right? The social play kits. How long did it take from Melody to Breverence social play kit, right? A UK Games Expo. But yeah, I would assume that's their majority avenue, is packaging it into LGS kits, is the phrasing we'll use, right? Because that's the easiest thing to do. One, it's better than a rebate, right? Or you know, God, what's the incentive called? It's not called buy one get one free in terms of stocking stuff, but yeah, that sort of scenario, right? They can print cards, and that's the monetary value they're adding to whatever purchases an LGS makes, right? That's way better for them because it is a lot more money saved. It's trying to incentivize more players to come and enjoy, and that's fine, right? So that's what we sort of saw with the pre-release for Misfire, where it's just this little kit that everyone gets, and that's fantastic, but no real other prize support, right? So I assume for the skirmish season, skirmish is Blitz, is it not? Did I get that wrong? Doesn't matter. For the competitive season for Blitz, right? It will be a tacked on thing. Where were we? Oh yeah, 400 for new. What did Kasai settle at, out of curiosity? That's what we should look at. Yeah, skirmish splits, good. My noggin's working. Somewhat. And what am I trying to do? I'm trying to look at just marbles. Alright. So despite whatever these ridiculous prices are, right, and I'd also assume a lot more Misfales are going to be open because you have people gunning for the gold packs. But Emperor, at minimum, twice as common as the Marvel Enigma, right? Then you have the whole, it's a chick. We love our pretty ladies, so I can see it going from $2,000 to $3,000, going for $2,000 to $3,000, right? So 5 is probably a bit of a overestimate, right? 5 is more in line if it's like 100,000, 200,000 print run. If the higher the print run, right, the rarer this card is. That's the way to think about it. Weird as that sounds. Yeah? Whereas with Emperor, the higher the print run, the more common it is. Because it's not a fixed amount, right? So we'll leave Enigma New Moon be. But, yeah. I think headcanon, 2 to 4 times as rare as Emperor at the moment. Then we have the Marvel Heroes. So Kasai is currently sitting at... We want to look at last sold. Last sold for 245 and is crashing. Again, this is the big thing. Everyone races to own one, and then once they have it, the idea is, well, we want to continue selling it and try to get a benefit, right? A lot of people buy the fancy stuff not to hold and cherish, but to flip. And then they get caught in the race to the bottom, right? It's not that big of a race, well, kind of is. So, yeah, I would assume New is going to crash as well. What was the comparative pools? So it was 10 marbles for heavy hitters, 5 being the adults, 5 being young. So 50% of the time that the pull rate for marbles was higher, right? I think it was, to get the full set, 1 in 1,920, or was it 60 or 20? It's either 196 or 192, I can't remember, right? Just talked about this recently too, so I should. But anyway, so technically, it's easier to pull one new Marvel versus a Kasai, right? Statistically, because it's 1,700 packs to get the full Marvel set versus 1,900 packs to get the full Marvel set of heavy hitters, statistically, right? So technically, new should fall below Kasai. Hypothetically. But again, we have, you know, well, muscle mums? Is that the term the kids use? Muscle mummy? versus new. So yeah, that might add a little premium to it, but 400, no. I would not pay anywhere close to that. All right. Then you have the Sacred Arts, which I do think will be worth more than the Young Heroes, just because they're more interesting. What would they sort of be equivalent to? I guess kind of like the Codexes. But I'd assume more close to like these Codexes. So we're probably easily double the price things should be currently. The Mist Cloak Gully, right? Fable, different pull rate. It's probably going to climb a little bit higher. Again, it seems to be a must-have for competitive Mystics. Enigma is then, right? Again, comparable to other Marvel adults. Right? Enigma is comparable to Betsy. No? One's wide, one's old. I should stop before I say something bad. But yeah, so again, look at heavy hitters. Look at where that's settled. This is just FOMO. My honest opinion. Traverse the Universe, though, right? This seems to be the best head slot for all of them, right? Just getting the Chi on demand is fantastic with the 2-block. I still kind of like some of the other stuff. But then again, I do very memey things, right? So this will probably hold up. It'll probably sit similar to Balance of Justice, wherever that is. Well, it won't be there. It's extended art. New Moon. It's not worth $200, right? 1 to 50, 1 to 100, whatever it is. Not $200. Again, Sacred Arts. 12 Petal. Must have for Zen, but only Zen. So I would still see this dropping to like $80. It definitely seems like everything's about twice as valuable as it will end up being, somewhere around that. Solar Pot and Rising Sun Setting Moon are not equal. They're not equivalent cards. These are going to fall to the Dragons. I missed someone again. I was checking regularly, right? They're going to be very similar to the Dragons. Because again, for the large majority of players, you have easy access to it. You can get one in every single pack. You will find your full playset. You only need one of them compared to Dragons as well. So, yeah, I see it. I can't see it being a $75 card, right? 20 to 40 maybe, like a $60, if that. Yeah, it's utter hype to me. Flesh and Blood articles. I don't think, did they do a statement here? Here's actually stuff on Blaze, being a Summer convention exclusive. UK Game Expo, not the only place where Blaze will make an appearance. You'll also be able to get it at Gamescom, Gen Con, that's where I was thinking about it. Many other conventions. It being a convention exclusive is a bit more curiosity. I was kind of thinking it would be Armory. Was it Rainbow Foil or Cold Foil? It's a Rainbow Foil. Yeah, okay. So I'd assume they'd release a Cold Foil as well. Right? And that would probably be for the season. So do keep that in mind as well, right? If you're thinking this card is highly collectible, it's going to be way more apparent, right? Getting a nice blanket in many other conventions. And then also it's just the Rainbow Foil variant. Fab Reddit is probably a place to be. I think there was a little... The interview that Fluke did, you can probably scroll down and find it. There was like clip notes around LSS's stance. I wouldn't mind rewatching that for the Blitz segment, just to properly understand it a bit better. Was last week sometime. Memory serves. Yeah, here we go. So the cliff notes for Blitz. Yeah, the team pivoted on Blitz. We just have a bit looser approach to Blitz, and is working to treat Blitz as a more casual social format. Since it's more of a laid-back format, the team is okay with printing promo heroes directly into the format, like Blaze Firemind. Speaking of Blaze, she'll also be available to obtain during next skirmish season. Oh, there you go, they did say it, yeah. So I'd assume Cold Foil throughout the skirmish season, and all the conventions will be the Rainbow Foil variant. But yes, this is the big thing, right? Again, instead of it being the introductory format, it's now this, right? Is it laid back? It's more just shenanigans. I don't know if I'd call that laid back. But I think from ease of running, it is a bit sad because, you know, Classic Constructor can really drag on, especially armory games. So having, you know, an easy designated time to understand for Blitz, it's a little bit better. And you can have more games rotating. Overall, the Angie, to me, would feel a bit higher. But I do think it was kind of worth salvaging and not just going with this. Was it 722?
Will be playable. These are just the early promo versions.
So the Blaze is a young hero for starts. It's only legal on Blitz, and we just have a little bit of a looser approach to Blitz, if I'm being honest with you. People probably noticed there haven't been any Blitz callings, or hasn't been a World Championship format.
I go back. Ooh, I'm too loud.
Last year, and probably it won't be a format at the World Championship.
You couldn't open one. Speculating.
Yeah. You know, look, we just put out things like the Arcane Barrier Evo set for you know, Klloo or you know, or mechs in general can blow.
Yeah, I needed that for my UPF deck.
You know, so we're like putting some things out there to, you know, lay some frameworks for Arcane incoming.
I'll touch on what you said before. New heroes coming out in different products.
Yep.
They're usually not legally playable off the bat if you couldn't open one in a pack. Is the goal, like there's cards like Yorick out there, but is the goal that most of these heroes will be playable? These are just the early promo versions?
So the Blaze is a young hero for starts. It's only legal on Blitz, and we just have a little bit of a looser approach to Blitz, if I'm being honest with you. You know, it's, people probably noticed there haven't been any Blitz callings, or hasn't been a World Championship format last year, and probably it won't be a format at the World Championship this year either. And I think that Blitz has sort of settled into a position of being a bit more casually or socially orientated. That's not to say we won't do things with Blitz in the future. Like, we would like to bring it back into some high level opportunities. I know people have very fond memories of like the Team Blitz events that ran across the world. We did that, you know, the World Premiere Week, if I'm being honest with you. You know, it's, people probably noticed there haven't been any Blitz callings, or hasn't been a World Championship format last year, and probably it won't be a format at the World Championship this year either. And I think that Blitz has sort of settled into a position of being a bit more casually or socially orientated. That's not to say we won't do things with Blitz in the future. Like, we would like to bring it back into you know, some high level opportunities. I know people have very fond memories of like the Team Blitz events that ran across the world. We did that, you know, the World Premiere weekends back alongside Uprising, which were really popular. We did the team actually in Sydney, didn't we? We did the Team Blitz as well. So we know that the people enjoy teams, but saying that, I think the teams part of that is probably more important than the Blitz part of that. But I guess my point is that Blitz is its place in our ecosystem has evolved slightly from what it was a couple of years back. So in saying that, I think that making things like a convention exclusive promo, which is Blitz, you know, legal, is like acceptable.
Is it Blitz legal?
Yeah, it is Blitz legal, absolutely. Yeah, and but there will be other ways to pick up the Blaze promos. I don't think it's been announced yet, but that card will feature as part of the upcoming skirmish season. So that'll be another way for people to, you know, all across the world to be able to get a hold of a Blaze promo. or a Blaze promo that aren't able to make it to these conventions.
Perfect.
Yeah.
My personal opinion of heavy hitters was that it was your
Okay. Turn that back down. So, yeah. Interesting perspective, right? So it's legal. You can play with it. And then you can use it to earn the Cold War variant, right? Because we all know it is quite a strong card. I don't think there was anything else of interest. Dev Talk, no. Well, I guess the Arcane Rising, kindly, right? So whether or not that's the last set of the year, given Blades and everything, it's kind of the expectation, no? Yeah, it seems like everyone's just wanting to play the new heroes, unfortunately. All the wizards seem to be kind of messed up, including this. Yeah. We'll see what actually translates to the class constructed, right? Again, they said arcane sets. They said it's in the pipeline, right? So I've always seen James White as this very giddy kid who loves his passion project to death, right? And can't wait to show stuff off. So I feel like if it was actually the final set of the year, he would have just jumped the gun and announced it. And the other reason I don't think it still can be, but the reason I don't think it's the last set of the year is given what Bright Lights did to the game, how polarizing that was to end the year off with, then go into the holiday break, go into this big wait for heavy hitters. I could see them holding off on having a narrowly focused set like Arcane, because love it or hate it, right? That's always going to be the scenario. Either you're for all the Arcane, whether it's just Wizard, whether it's Wizard Runeblade and something else, Wizard Runeblade Dromai, they work that in, they make Draconic Illusionist a bit more Arcane focused. You'll have people who will absolutely love the set. I mean, the same goes for Mistveil, but it's a bit more polarizing than something new like Mistveil. It's more in line with that of Bright Lights, and Bright Lights was I would say, very detrimental for the attitude to the game, right? I mean, I was just looking through Reddit, and there's actually a few stories of, the Dusk Till Dawn Bright Light block just tag teamed us and lost all interest, right, for playing. And again, if from a store's perspective, 2 releases in a row where one, they can't run anything, right, because it's using old Monarch, and I'm sure LSS made Monarch more accessible. Why do I always go? It's just subconsciously from testing. I go single player. Right, so if a store can't run anything from supplemental sets, then Bright Lights, where play interest is down, it led to this real bad spot for the game. So I could see them holding off on using Bright Lights, using the Arcane set. Where is it? We just had it before. Pipeline. Yeah, so Arcane set, no real information, just that it's in the pipeline coming soon. So I'd be more on the side of it will be the first set of next year, going into a strong block, but not the last set of this year, just because, again, from a company perspective, I can't see them taking the chance, right? After what happened with Bright Lights. But that's my perspective. What would be then? Do you have a timeline for Monarch / Dust Till Dawn 3? See, that's also curiosity. To me, I think the whole Monarch line of cards is probably done. And it's more them just waiting for the Living Legend to sort of catch up, right? Once Prism, once Visette, seem to be acting accordingly and getting back to the top, then I could see them going back, even if that's where, there's hints to for the story and everything like that. I think they're a lot more strategic than what people think. It's not just bouncing idea from idea. And again, 5 years into it, they'd have to have a proper line of sets ready to go. So the other problem, was Icelander still valid in Blitz? I can't remember. Frost is also worrisome, but I would still be on the mindset that Tails would be the last set of the year. Just because, again, we're coming up to the third year now, where those boxes just have very little value, because the majority of cards have absolutely no use. Yeah, so this because I'm on the open format. So yeah, I'd be inclined to think that the last set would probably be Tails, or I guess Uprising with how close Faye is. I guess it's just a token. I don't think Arachne does too well with the tokens. I mean, Quicken's kind of nice for them. We'll take the defensive line. But I could also be completely wrong, right? And Arcane is just the last set of the year. If it is the last set of the year, though, then I also lose respect a little bit, right? Because again, it's like Tails needs something. Needs some sort of life bred into it. I guess it's just the time. Awesome Disruption is annoying, though. Be nice if Ripple Away didn't... no, yeah, if it was just action, right? And then you could ripple away the Jinglewood. Leave no witness. Cover the deck and Arsenal. Yeah, that was the worry. It's only a 4. You rally, and you're probably Fighting Spirit. No, I'll ripple away, right? Because it's already an overblock. If they shred or anything, then I can rally for the other 3. Yeah. And then we just heal with Sun's Kiss. Ah, they're 1 over. Is it even worth then the Rally the Rearguard? We're losing the tome anyway. I guess just avoid the damage. Well, that's a bit better. Don't really have the draw, though, to go into it. Back actions. I mean, this isn't really a blocking hand anyway. I think we just use the extra life we gained. We're recouping 2 next turn anyway. Top out of their deck, that's fine. I think I've screwed up my sound. Music is not playing. Well, it's playing, but I can't hear anything. I don't think you guys can hear anything. I'm kind of tempted to dish the lead the charge. least get a little bit more draw out of it. And then just Sunkiss. I think it's 17. We're fine to... Oh, that's not what I clicked. I really got to stay with hotbar. Wish you can control... Well, I know you can control which monitor. Primary monitor. I suppose that's the other way. Just make this not my primary monitor. God, we can't have the final act be destroyed, so we Arsenal the Art of War. It's kind of a crappy hand. If this draws into an attack, then Tunic's good. No Arsenal destruction, please. What you got? Top card of the deck is fine. Helps me, because they thin it out. Don't be draw, though. Sunkiss. That's good. That would have been a shitty draw for the time. Alright, one attack, please. Thank you. Tunic. Do that. Banish and... Technically, I should take the go again. Yeah, I should take the go again. Rewarded. Thank God. Do I pitch the lead the charge or do I put it to the top? We have at least one draw with it. I gotta keep it because there's two tomes in the deck still. Or one tome still in the deck still. They're blocking it. That's fine. We don't get the Sunkiss. Then we can do that. Use the gold. See? I want to keep it. Yeah, if it just landed and we had that one extra draw. Well, this is a very abysmal final act combo. 5 into a 5. Beautiful. Things almost lined up. I need to go back to the old deck. There's no encore in this. It's basically just a one chance. Trying to optimize the draw. Despite that, it feels like it plays worse. Guess we want the turn to cycle around. There we go. Rob the rich. I really need like last ditch effort or something in the deck to go with it. Oh, now you join us, cash in. More value now than after, right? It'd be a 1 block. Well, it'd still be gain 1 life, I suppose. Yeah, so I should be running Last Ditch Effort. That's the 2-1, right? Oh, into another. At this point, we are very much fighting a losing battle. Both cash outs are apparently on the bottom of the deck, too. Yeah. Well, we have a nice amount of block. You can't beat luck sometimes. Cash out doesn't really matter. In all honesty. If I had an encore... Oh, they've got back-to-back. Yeah, it's definitely way into a loss at this point. There's the cash out though, so technically I can go 4. Doesn't really get me anything. All our main attacks are gone by now. I'm just gonna let this through. Okay, I need to fix the audio, right? Because yeah, it's very faint, but I am echoey. Let me do that. I'll be back in a sec. Let's see if that's any better. I think so. Right? What I really need to do is pause. No. Quite annoying. Although, that sounds better. Right? New mic. Thought I had figured it out. Oh well. At the very least, the music should drown out any echo. Alright, we're still yet to get a win. We'll do normal blitz. Open. There's a few games. But yeah, still, the majority of people want to play with the fancy new heroes. Anything else? Alright, yeah, so the little armory decks we used to introduce completely new heroes. So this, I could see them using that to handle Tails as well. Right, because then they wouldn't have to print a card pool for Tails, or reprint the existing card pool, and then they could just control the heroes a bit better in terms of their power level. So I would say it's a toss-up, whether the last set is Arcane or Tails, from my perspective. Right, yeah, so this also, alludes to whether we'll see Monarch 3 anytime soon, right? So, no chain, Vizet needs some support, so they'll continue to get support, as seen through cards like Eloquent Eulogy, so i.e. they're just going to use the expansion slot to handle that for a long while. And then once it's at the correct place and starts, being powerful, then we might revisit Monarch. Yeah, and Celestial Fury was such a mistake, right? Horrible card. Other than that, that's fine. Nothing else of interest. Great pre-release balls. I do think Rising Sun Setting Moon is probably the best Transcend card, in my opinion. Just because of its ease of use. And the fact that, Cycle is just fantastic in Fab. There's one comment on Miss Lock Gully. Okay. But I don't think I'll see much play unless it suddenly becomes unbelievably dominant. Another way to think of this, right, is Enigma. One less ward being popped, right? Which is fantastic. In New, one less card you have to block with in some circumstances. Same with Zen, right? That would be my way of looking at it. Yes, -1 isn't super strong, but just the fact that it's ongoing, so much value over the course of the game. I do think it would be a competitive card for the 3. Stunning, still. I still think the playmat should have been this art instead of the concept art for Miss Vale. Gold packs. 8, so let's see if there's any shenanigans. I had you determine to give you the gold pack. It was pulled from the box, and they randomly picked one of the players to get. See, I think the lottery system is what I'm hearing the most, and is probably the best way to do it. LGS got one in a box, cracked himself, and put it into a case. It's not that sketchy, it's just... God. Yoji's horrible. We can't get enough damage to play Yoji, but we'll humor them. No, they know. Most reputable stores will put it as a door prize and do community engagement. It doesn't cost them anything, it makes people happy, it's a win-win. Most shady stores, unless community driven, are therefore will just sell the pack or open it and sell it. I agree, it's a silly way to do the distribution from LSS, but many games have had box toppers that are worth money, and many stores have found good, healthy ways to distribute them. Yeah. Again, LSS are very, very community focused, which is fantastic to see. But it's how much power should you give the community in determining things like this? I think if there's even, you know, a slight feel bad situation, it shouldn't be a thing. I still think it could have easily replaced a token as well, without being much of a detriment. I need the defense. They're Benji though, so we're not really going to block much. But I'm trying to think if there's any real tokens that I care about disrupting. I don't think there is, with Ripple away. They took Vigor, interesting, and also scary. I think we just leave it there. Actually, I should have gained the life with the Sunkiss. I was thinking about swing and then draw. But we don't have enough draw to make that worthwhile. Oh, they got Predatory Strike straight away. It's like Tails, and then they're naming, I'd assume. Crouching Tiger, yeah. That gives them all 1. This round's on me is good for the long term. See, this is a problem because I don't want to block with it. Nor do I want to block with the Sunkiss. I want to play this into Sunkiss next turn. So it's like rally the rear guard, but still taking 1. Because I also don't want to use the discard effect. I think it's just take the damage. And then hope. Next turn, this buys us a turn. The next one does 2 as well. Yeah, because of Tiger Stripe. This round's on me is very good against the Benji matchup. The draw's bad though. I am tempted to block because this is a lot of damage coming out. Regain 3. It's whether or not this round's on me ends up being a greater negative. Plus it gives them a card. You know what? I should probably just block with this round's on me. They didn't use Pouncing Paws or Blood Scent with it because of the Vigor token. Yeah, I definitely show Sunkiss turn 1. That would have put us in a much more comfortable position. Now Blood Scenting, Mischievous Meeps. The other thing I will say with Blitz, right? Misplays are a lot more detrimental because of how quick the games are. Which then makes it obviously less new player friendly. I'm guessing it's just swing with the other one. It'll be on 9. No, we'll be on 10. We get to opt, then draw. I don't want either of them, since we already have one Moonwish loaded up. Worst case, we get blue and just Jinglewood again. Best case, we actually get like cash in or something that we can use for next turn. And hope that 10 with the blanket -1 is enough to survive. Taxatagi, okay, so the dags are out. Any Crouching Tigers they make are out. But they have the Arsenal and 5 cards in hand. Definitely a very rough spot for us. What are you deliberating on, out of curiosity? This might be a Teleshare issue. Yeah, it was a teleshare issue. Now I look like the ass. Alright, so if we can survive, we have a very decent go at the combo. I don't know if I like our chances. Even with a -1, 10's easy enough to push as Benji. The hand is not that great either. The war counteracts this round's on me. They have Tiger Swipe. That would be my guess. Or at least they have something with combo, right? Because they... Well, actually, no, this is instant anyway, so it doesn't break the chain. So they have Heads, Leads, Tails into Art of War. Yeah, we're dead. I don't think we can survive Benji. Which is funny, because Benji is actually a very nice matchup, since we don't really care about blocking anyway. So deliberating on the Banish, I'd assume. I don't think they'd have anything they'd want to give go again. Vipox. That probably would have been enough to end, right? Because now you only have to get me to 5. How much do I block? Keep the Tunic, because that's kind of counterbalancing the -1 to hand. Mask is bad. Well, they would have got Mask anyway. At least I would have fully expected. Bring Tiding. Well, that's game, right? Because this eats my hand anyway into the combo, so I'm dead next turn anyway, so they can have their draw. They can have their fun. This is why I like Klloo, right? Because this is, what, like a 5 to 10 minute game? Yeah, lost. So what? I can bounce straight back into another one. Which I think is way better for new players as well. To tolerate the loss. But I'm curious how much the 3 extra life at the start would have helped me. Alright, back to the gold pack. Every place that I went to raffled the gold pack away, in my honest opinion, that's the only right way to do it. Rough every store around me raffled it and announced they would if they found one. The first one I went to raffled it to everyone. The second store had already opened all the boxes before and said they got one and will do something with it at a future date. I was like, man, the only reason you got in those boxes was the previous kit they sent you. You should have given it to a player. He just shrugged. That, yeah, well, it depends. You know, if they follow through. Again, as just additional prize support is something fun and casual. Is fantastic, right? Because it's always funner, or it's more incentive, right? To actually play for something. So, again, having that, no cost to the store, I think is valid. It's whether or not the do something with a future date is, again, an event, or I'm going to open and sell it, and I didn't want any of you to feel bad. Out of curiosity, nope. Our store put it up to sell. Some even voiced interest in bidding for it. Fun reading it though. But yeah, raffling the gold pack seems like the main thing everyone's doing, which is wonderful, right? But again, it's a situation that could have kind of been avoided. But yeah, just sucks in those bad situations. Let's see. Really beautiful card. It is a very beautiful card. I think it's definitely the best looking Transcend card. Along with, again, the best effect. Any other gold pack shenanigans? Let's probably release go. Question concerning second tenant. If you transcend this turn, this gets +2. Not active while it's defending. Alright, as a popper, that's an interesting thought. It says while it's defending. My understanding is only obviously block and defense reactions, or yeah, if it says while it's defending, have triggerable effects. From everything I've heard, the flexibility of the 8 packs with 30 cards is a lot funner. Allows you to make, yeah, a more cohesive deck. Has there been any more thought on this? Right, I think $80 is good. Passover. Passover is the banish one, right? So it's desired most in new. Don't be Timmy. Buying now, buy in 3 months. Why the downvote? It's true though. But yeah, everything's going to be overpriced until probably 2 weeks. 2 weeks after release, when everyone is done fighting for the bottom and just trying to move cards. This was my worry. Blitz was kind of going to be dead. I think short one today, but I'm just getting back into the habit, I guess. I guess I'll just make, since everyone's on it, I'll make the Zen and... Do I want to play all 3? I know I definitely want to play Zen and Enigma, right? And we'll just do those games from tomorrow onwards. I want to give Melody a proper send-off, but no fish are biting, unfortunately. Yeah, and this looks to just be growing and growing. Which makes sense, right? Everyone's playing with them in person, so it's time we play with them on Teleshare. Weird one today, right? Technical issues on my side. Pain this morning trying to start the stream. But you gotta work out the kinks sometime. Anyway, anyone hanging around, thank you. Anyone watching in post, thanks as well. But I think we'll leave it there for today. Figure out what I want to do tomorrow. Probably more boxes. Still got a decent amount of stuff to crack.